Okay, so, we're always keeping an eye out for interesting news. And you sent over this AP report from London about King Charles.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's about his health. So,
right.
for this deep dive, I was thinking we could try to really get into the details, what this announcement actually means
Absolutely.
without, going too far down the speculation rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah, and let's stick to the facts. Let's look at what the AQ report actually says.
Right, exactly.
So like what would you say was the core piece of news here?
Well, it seems like the big thing is that Buckingham Palace, they announced that King Charles was hospitalized
Okay.
this past Thursday.
This past Thursday.
And they said it was for observation
Hmm.
and that it was due to these temporary side effects that they're connecting to his cancer treatment,
Yeah.
the scheduled treatment he's been undergoing.
Right. Right. And that makes sense when you look at what happened next. They canceled all his engagements.
Yeah. For Thursday afternoon and all of Friday.
The whole day. Yeah, it suggests that, these side effects, whatever they were serious enough
Yeah.
to need immediate medical attention and to, clear his schedule.
Totally. And then the palace, they came out with another statement later
Oh, really?
saying that he had returned to Clarence House,
Okay.
but also that Friday's schedule was still being, rescheduled
Interesting.
as a precautionary measure,
Yeah.
they said, based on advice from his doctors.
What do you think about that wording precautionary measure?
Well, I mean, it seems like they're being extra cautious, right?
Yeah. Maybe they've learned from, past experiences with managing these things so publicly.
Yeah, it's got to be tricky.
And, they also included an apology from the king himself in that statement
Oh, wow.
for any inconvenience or disappointment caused by the changes.
Huh. That's interesting. It adds this personal touch to this very formal announcement, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. But, we should remember, this isn't totally out of the blue. The AP report mentions that King Charles, he's 76 now, and he's been undergoing treatment for cancer for over a year now. They don't say what kind of cancer.
Right.
But still, it's been going on for a while.
And what I find really fascinating is how the report talks about his duties. Even while he's going through this treatment,
Yeah.
he's continued to fulfill all those constitutional responsibilities, reviewing government papers, meeting with the prime minister, all that.
Yeah. It says he's taken time off from public duties, but the core work, behind the scenes, that's continued.
Do they say anything about how he's managing all that? Are there hints about changes to his workload or anything?
It doesn't go into detail, but the fact that it's even mentioned,
Yeah,
really underscores his commitment in the face of all this.
absolutely.
So, okay, we've gone through all this. What do we want our listener to really understand here?
I think the key takeaway is that the king experienced these temporary side effects from his cancer treatment, which led to him being hospitalized for observation and, some engagements being postponed.
Right.
But importantly, he's back home, and this rescheduling seems to be just a precaution.
Yeah, and he's been actively doing his state duties throughout this whole time. That's a big deal.
It really paints this picture of someone balancing, these major personal health challenges with the demands of this very public role.
It makes you think about how people in these positions deal with that intersection of, their health and their responsibility.
Exactly. And, what systems of support are in place, what adjustments they might have to make.
Right.
It's a dynamic that I think we'll see more and more in all sorts of fields moving forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for joining me for this deep dive. It's been really interesting.
Absolutely.
Thank you.